Hello, dear friends. In this class, let us understand the evolution of strategic management. The strategic management subject, what we see today, did not evolve overnight. It was developed or it was evolved over a period of time. Let's understand the historical evolution of the subject strategic management. Well, strategic management subject was first and foremost introduced in Harvard Business School in the United States of America. Way back in the year 1911, strategic management subject was introduced. In fact, in the beginning days, this subject was based on some practical case studies. And this subject was introduced in Harvard Business School in order to improve the general management capabilities of management students. And gradually, strategic management subject was made mandatory in all the B schools and all the university curricula of MBA course throughout America. And gradually, this subject has entered into India also, of course, after 1950s. And as you already knew, that strategic management is a compulsory subject in all the base schools, in all the universities, both in India as well as in other countries. When strategic management subject was first introduced in Harvard Business School, it was called by the name business policy. So business policy was the earlier name of strategic management subject. And in the beginning days, this subject had a very narrow scope. And the subject business policy was all about the functions and responsibilities of the senior management or top level management. What are the crucial problems that affect the success of an enterprise and how to deal with them or how to tackle them? And what kind of decisions should an enterprise take in order to create a good future for itself? So the subject business policy mainly dealt with these three major aspects when it was first introduced in Harvard Business School way back in the year 1911. So we can say that the scope of business policy was narrow in the initial days. Gradually, with the addition of number of concepts, frameworks, and analytical models, the subject business policy became strategic management. Today, we don't call this subject as business policy, but we call it by the name strategic management. So strategic management is a present name of the subject business policy, and business policy was the earlier name of strategic management subject when it was first introduced in Harvard Business School. So strategic management subject is very much useful to management students. By gaining a thorough knowledge of this subject, future managers like you, future CEOs like you, can take decisions in a better manner. You can run your business with a long-range perspective. Yeah, nowadays it is a mandatory. The knowledge of strategic management is mandatory if at all you want to be a successful business executive. Okay. Let's take a look at some of the major contributors who have contributed to the growth and development of strategic management subject. There were a number of professors who contributed to the subject of strategic management. As I told you already, that the subject strategic management was not evolved, did not evolve overnight. It got evolved over a period of time. Here is one of the earliest contributors to the subject of strategic management. He is Alfred D. Chandler. Alfred D. Chandler was one of the earliest contributors to the subject of strategic management. In fact, he was one among the group of professors that were appointed for the purpose of developing strategic management subject at Harvard Business School. So Alfred D. Chandler. Kenneth Andrews also contributed to the subject of strategic management. Kenneth Andrews. And here is one of the major contributors to the subject of strategic management. He is known as the father of the concept of competitive advantage. He is Professor Emeritus in Harvard Business School. And he is none other than Michael Porter. Professor Michael Porter is also one of the major contributors to the subject of strategic management. And here we have an Indian management guru who is known as the father of the concept of core competence. He also contributed to the discipline of strategic management, and he is Professor C.K. Prahalad, late Prahalad, who is no more. He passed away a few years ago. Professor C.K. Prahalad also contributed to the discipline of strategic management. And here we have another major contributor to the subject of strategic management. He is Igor Ansel, Professor Igor Ansel. In fact, he is regarded as the father of strategic management because he has given number of contributions to the subject of strategic management, namely Ansell's product market growth matrix. He also gave expansion strategies and a few other concepts to the subject of strategic management. So Professor Igor Ansel is known as the father of strategic management. And dear students, let's understand the origin of the word strategy. Dear students, the word strategy had a military origin. It had a military origin. The word strategy was derived from a Greek word strategos. The word strategy was derived from a Greek word called strategos. In Greek, strategos are nothing but the instructions of a military general given to his soldiers during wartime. In Greek, strategos are nothing but the instructions or the directions of a military general that are given to his soldiers during wartime. Strategos refer to the directions of a military general given to his soldiers during wartime. Our ability to win a war over our enemies depends on the directions or the instructions given by the military general. యుద్ధంలో మనం గెలుపొందటం లేదా గెలుపొందలేకపోవడం అనేది సైన్యం మీద కంటే సేనాధిపతి లేదా మిలిటరీ జనరల్ ఇచ్చే ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ మీద ఎక్కువ డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటున్నాం. మిలిటరీ జనరల్ లేదా సేనాధిపతి తన బ్రెయిన్ ఉపయోగించి తను స్కెచ్ గీయాలి, తన సైనికులకి సరైన ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఇవ్వాలి. సోల్జర్స్ మీరు కొంతమంది ఇట్టేళ్ళండి, మరి కొంతమంది అట్టేళ్ళండి అని సోల్జర్ తన సేనాధిపతి లేదా మిలిటరీ జనరల్ తన సైనికులకి ప్రాపర్ డైరెక్షన్స్ ఇవ్వాలి. దెన్ ఓన్లీ chances will be high to win over the enemies in the war. So the word strategy had a military origin. So war strategy anta we call it war strategies. War lo strategies kavali to defeat enemies, to win over enemies, or how to attack or how to counter attack our enemies or rivals. And today's business field is also like a battlefield. Just like strategies are needed during a war, so they are required in business also to win over our rivals or competitors. What is strategy actually? I'm sure some of you are very good at chess. I don't know how many of you play chess game. I'm sure many of you are good at chess game. I really feel jealous of you guys because I don't know ABCs of chess. నాకు చెస్ బోర్డ్ చూస్తే తలనొప్పి వస్తుంది. I'm not good at it. Those who are good at chess, definitely they are good at strategy. They are good at strategy formulation, because chess is basically a mind game. Do you think one needs a six-pack to shine in chess game? No, not at all required, because chess is basically a mind game. It has nothing to do with your physical energy or physical stamina. So what players do in a chess game is they try to perform each other through their moves and counter moves. So just like chess is a mind game, strategy is also, a strategic management is also a mind game. Remember that. And here is a point that shows the importance of strategic management to a company. Without a strategy, an organization is like a ship without a rudder. Strategy serves as a rudder for a ship. What happens if a ship does not have a rudder? If a ship does not have a rudder, it will not have a direction. It will go in circles. It cannot move forward, and chances are very high that it may even sink at some point or the other. And what is a rudder? A rudder is a device that makes a ship move forward in a particular direction. If a ship does not have a rudder, it cannot move forward in a particular direction. It may even sink. So just like a ship needs a rudder, an organization also needs a strategy. If an organization does not have a strategy, it will not know where to go or in which direction to proceed in. Okay? And here, friends, let's take a look at few definitions of strategy. Here are few definitions for the word strategy. Let's understand few definitions of strategy given by a few prominent authors in the subject of strategic management. This is a definition of strategy given by William F. Gluck. William F. Gluck is a popular author in the subject of strategic management. He defined strategy like this. He said, strategy is a unified, comprehensive, and integrated plan which is designed to ensure that the basic objectives of the enterprise are achieved. According to William F. Gluck, strategy is basically a plan. It's not simply a plan, and this plan possesses three major attributes. He said strategy is a unified, comprehensive, and integrated plan which is designed by an organization to achieve its long-term goals and objectives. What do you mean by unified? Unified means the plan joins all parts of an organization together. Strategy is not confined to just a single department or a particular department. Strategy unites. The strategy combines all elements of an organization together: production, marketing, HR, R&D, logistics, etc. Unified means the plan joins or combines all parts of an organization together. Comprehensive. Strategy is a comprehensive plan. What do you mean by comprehensive? Comprehensive means broader. Strategy is not a narrow plan that is restricted to a particular department or function, but it's a broader plan of action. Strategy is a broader scope. It's a broader plan of action that is undertaken by an organization. An integrated plan. Integrated means coordinated. Several sub-plans are integrated into an overall plan, and that's called strategy. If you look at a strategy has several sub-plans in it: production plan, marketing plan, HR plan, R&D plan. Several sub-plans are integrated into a single plan, and that single plan is called strategy. Okay, and look at one more definition for strategy. This was a definition for strategy given by Alfred D. Chandler. And Alfred D. Chandler was one of the earliest contributors to the subject of strategic management. And he said, strategy is a determination of basic long-term goals and objectives of an enterprise, adoption of courses of action, an allocation of the resources that are necessary for achieving those goals and objectives. Though the definition of strategy given by Alfred D. Chandler appears to be lengthy, it's very easy to understand if you divide the definition into 3 parts. An organization is said to be following a strategy if it is following these 3 in a very systematic manner. First of all, a business organization has to determine its basic long-term goals and objectives. And dear students, you have to set your long-term goals and objectives. In the very first place, you have to set your long-term goals and objectives. I'm sure almost all of you have set your long-term goals and objectives. Simply setting your long-term goals and objectives is not enough. You need to adapt the course of action. మీరు సెట్ చేసుకున్న లాంగ్ టర్మ్ గోల్స్ అండ్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్స్ అచీవ్ చేయాలంటే మీరు ఏం చేయాలి, అందుకు కావాల్సిన యాక్షన్స్ ని, కోర్స్ ఆఫ్ యాక్షన్ మీరు అడాప్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి. అంటే ఎఫర్ట్స్ పెట్టాలి, యాక్షన్ తీసుకోవాలి. మరి మీరు యాక్షన్ తీసుకోవాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు అడాప్ట్ ద కోర్స్ ఆఫ్ యాక్షన్, యూ నీడ్ టు స్పెండ్ యువర్ రిసోర్సెస్ on. You need to allocate your resources for different activities, be it your financial resources, human resources, physical resources, or other infrastructure. Without spending resources, you can't take an action. And without taking action, or without adopting the necessary courses of action, you can't achieve your goals and objectives. So an organization is said to be following a strategy, or an individual is said to be following a strategy if he or she is following these 3 in a very systematic manner. You need to determine your basic long-term goals and objectives, adopt the necessary courses of action, and allocate the necessary resources for achieving those goals and objectives. If you're following these 3 in a systematic manner, well, we can say that you're following a strategy. And చాలా మంది కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతూ ఉంటారు. స్ట్రాటజీ అంటే ఒక ప్లాన్ అనుకుంటారు. చాలా మంది స్ట్రాటజీ అంటే ప్లాన్ అంటూ ఉంటారు. Somebody say that my strategy is to cut down my production. My strategy is to outsource my R&D. My strategy is to spend more on advertising or sales promotions. Is that a strategy? No. ఒక ఆర్గనైజేషన్ తన డైలీ తన ఫంక్షనింగ్ లో భాగంగా తీసుకునే చిన్న చిన్న స్టెప్స్ ని ప్లాన్స్ అనకూడదమ్మా. ఈ ప్లాన్స్ అన్నిటిని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయడం ద్వారా అల్టిమేట్ గా మనం ఏం సాధించాలనుకుంటున్నాం, అల్టిమేట్లీ వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ యూ వాంట్ టు అచీవ్ బై implementing your day-to-day plans cumulatively over a period of time is called your strategy. The steps what an organization takes in its day-to-day functioning is not a strategy, like outsourcing the production, cutting down the expenditure on R&D, spending more on advertising. They are not your strategies. Let's understand what strategy actually is in the words of Michael Porter. Michael Porter, the professor of strategy in Harvard University, in one of his lectures, he defined what strategy is. Look at, watch this short video.
If we're going to have a good strategy, we've got to think clearly about what strategy is. And we've got to separate strategy from the other kind of goals and objectives and issues that managers often think about. On this slide are really the big 3 mistakes in terms of defining strategy. Mistake number 1. My strategy is to internationalize. I hear that kind of thing all the time. My strategy is to consolidate my industry. My strategy is to ramp up my R&D budget. My strategy is to outsource more of my production. Is that a strategy? No, those are steps that your organization may want to take. They may be good steps. They may be appropriate steps. They aren't a strategy. The strategy is what unique position will we be able to achieve? What's our advantage going to be at the end of the day as we take these steps cumulatively over time? That's the strategy part. The strategy part's about how are we going to be unique, how are we going to have an advantage, how are we going to sustain that advantage over time. The steps we take are not the strategy. But you'd be surprised how many companies get themselves fixated on a particular action that they want their organization to take, and that becomes the strategy. And of course, it then often drives the company literally off the cliff because they kind of don't understand why they're doing it and when they should stop doing it.
Yeah, I hope you have understood the misconceptions about the meaning of the word strategy. Dear students, let us now understand the levels of strategy. In a diversified company, or in case of conglomerate companies, when I say conglomerate company, what do you mean by conglomerate? A large and diversified company is known as conglomerate, like Tata, Birla, Reliance, General Electric, Sony, Murugappa Group, etc. These are called conglomerate companies. In case of conglomerate companies, that means large and diversified companies, strategies are formulated at 3 different levels. For conglomerate enterprises, a single level strategy is not enough, it's not sufficient. Strategy, in case of diversified companies like ITC, Tata Group, Reliance, etc., are usually formulated at 3 different levels, namely corporate level, business level, and functional level. Corporate level, business level or divisional level, and functional level. These are the 3 levels of strategy that we can see in case of diversified business organizations. So we have corporate level strategies, business level strategies, and functional level strategies. But when it comes to corporate level, who constitute or who form the part of the corporate level management of an organization? An organization's corporate level management consists of the CEO, senior executives, board of directors, and corporate staff. These are the individuals or executives who constitute the corporate level of an organization. And this is a corporate level team of Infosys. Infosys corporate level team amedi. You'll find the founder, the co-founders of Infosys, along with N.R. Narayan Murthy, S.D. Shubulal Gopalakrishnan, and few others, including the CEO, the earlier CEO of Infosys, K.V. Kamath, and who is the present CEO of Infosys today. The present CEO is Salil Parekh. Salil Parekh is the present CEO of Infosys. And Chappan Villandra Ekaduntar, they will be in the Infosys headquarters. Infosys headquarters, Bangalore. They take those decisions which are very long-term in nature. The corporate level management of Infosys engage themselves in taking those decisions which are very long-term in nature. They are the policy makers, you know. They are the policy makers for the organization. And well, this is a corporate level team of Godrej. You know, Godrej is also a highly diversified company, an Indian group, an Indian company. This is a corporate level team of Godrej. You can see Adi Godrej here, who is the chairman of the company, along with other corporate level members. And the second level is business level. Below the corporate level, we have business level. And business level consists of the managers who handle the individual businesses or separate business of the company. For example, in Tata Group, under Tata Group, there are different individual businesses called SBUs, strategic business units, such as Tata Steel is one separate business. Tata Motors is another business. Tata Taj Hotels is another business. Similarly, Tata Communications, Tata Consultancy Services. For every business on a Tata group, there is a manager. Every business under Tata group will be headed by a manager known as business level managers or SBU heads. Tata Steel is headed by one manager known as Tata Steel SBU head. Similarly, Tata Motors is headed by a manager known as business level manager of Tata Steel. Likewise, the remaining business of Tata Group have their own managers. And below the business level, we have functional level. Every business, in case of a diversified company, every business will have its own functional departments like production, marketing, HR, R&D, finance, etc. Under Tata Group, Tata Steel has its own separate functional departments. Tata Motors will have its own functional departments. TCS has its own functional departments. And for every department, the company appoints a manager known as functional managers like production manager, marketing manager, HR manager, and so on. So these are the three levels of management in case of conglomerate companies, namely corporate level, business level, and functional level. And let's understand something about the decisions that are taken by the corporate level management, and also the strategies that are formulated by them. And this is the corporate level team of Reliance Industries Limited, RIL. Reliance Industries Limited corporate level team consists of Mukesh Ambani, who is the chairman cum CEO of the company, and also his wife, who is playing a crucial role today in the board decisions of Tata Group, and the Reliance Group, and other board of directors and senior executives can be seen here. Well, corporate level management is responsible for overseeing the formulation of strategies for the whole organization by discussing among themselves. And tell me who are the corporate level management members of Tata Group. The corporate level management members of Tata Group are Natarajan Chandrasekaran. Chandrasekaran is a chairman of Tata Group. Along with him, the corporate level team has members such as board of directors, senior executives, and corporate staff. You see, the corporate level management members are responsible for formulating strategies for the organization as a whole. And they constitute the apex body of an organization's decision making. In any case, their decision will be final. These are some of the roles that are played by the corporate level management. Corporate level managers, corporate level management members are responsible for defining vision, mission statements for the organization, setting goals and objectives, formulation of strategies for individual business of the company or for the entire organization, deciding what businesses the company should be in, allocating resources to different businesses, formulating strategies, formulating and implementing strategies that span individual businesses, and most importantly, providing leadership for the entire organization. You see, the corporate level managers are the leaders for an organization. The success or failure of a company depends majorly on the leadership roles that are being played by the corporate level management. So these are some of the broader roles that are played by the corporate level management in case of a diversified business organization. And these are some of the strategies that are formulated by the corporate level management, like expansion and growth strategies, diversification strategies, mergers and acquisition strategies, new investment strategies, divestment strategies, R&D strategies, determination of the business lines. These are some of the major strategies that are formulated by the corporate level management of an organization. And dear students, we are going to discuss all these strategies quite elaborately in our subject. Diversification strategies, expansion strategy, mergers and acquisition strategies, R&D strategies, takeover strategies, divestment strategies. We are going to discuss all these strategies quite elaborately in our subject in due course of time. And among the corporate level management, the CEO is the most important person. Among the corporate level management, CEO is the most important professional. He or she is an active member in an organization's policy making. And here are some of the most successful CEOs who got laurels, name and fame to their respective companies. Here we have another one of the most successful women CEOs by name Indra Nooyi. Indra Nooyi, former CEO of PepsiCo. Under her leadership, Pepsi company has seen a lot of growth. Pepsi company has launched many successful products and brands. Dear girl students who are watching this video lesson, take her as inspirational. Please go through her success story, how she struggled to grow to that level as a CEO in Pepsi company. She had a very humble beginning. With her determination and hard work, with her intelligence, she rose to the position of the CEO for a big multinational company like Pepsi. It's not an ordinary thing. Please go through a success story. Girl students, you take her as your inspirational role model. Similarly, here is Steve Jobs, late Steve Jobs, former CEO of Apple company, co-founder too. Today, Apple company is because of Steve Jobs, very innovative personality. The products what we see today, iPhone, iPad, iPod, iMac, they were the brain cells of Steve Jobs. Please go through the success story of Steve Jobs. You will get tremendous amount of inspiration and motivation. Today, Apple company is because of the contribution of late Steve Jobs, the co-founder and former CEO of Apple. Satya Nadella, our own Telugu man, who rose to the position of CEO of Microsoft. Please go through Satya Nadella's success story. You'll get tremendous amount of inspiration and motivation. Similarly, we have Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google. He's also a great success story, very inspiring story. And we have C.K. Ranganathan, another successful business executive who is now heading Cabin Care Company, Chennai-based Cabin Care Company, founders of Chick Shampoo, Spinz Talc, and many other products. It's a very success story, very inspiring story. Dear, my dear future business executives, you're requested to go through the success stories of some of these great CEOs. I wish you will also rise to that position. You will also rise to that position in due course of time after completion of MBA. Coming to business level managers, under corporate level, you have business level. Business level, in a diversified company, each business is headed by a manager known as business level general managers. They are confined to formulating strategies that are specific to their individual businesses. In some organizations, business level managers are also known as divisional general managers. They are responsible for formulating strategies that are specific to their individual businesses. They are responsible for maximization of the long-run profitability of the company. Whether Tata Group is able to make profit from Tata Steel or not depends on the strategies that are formulated by the head of Tata Steel. At the end of the day, the strategies that are formulated by business level managers are very, very important, because it is only through their strategies that a company can achieve profit from a particular business. when compared to corporate loan managers, the role of business loan managers is somewhat narrow because it is confined to a particular business of the company. And below the business level, we have functional level. The role of functional managers is still narrow because it is confined to a particular department under a particular business of the company, like production manager, marketing manager, HR manager, etc. And a company should not underestimate the contribution of functional managers to the success of a company. In majority of cases, it is functional managers who have very valuable ideas with them because they stay close to the reality. They stay close to the reality. For example, in Tata Steel, the production issues, the cost minimization, enhancing the life and efficiency of the machinery will be known by the production manager of Tata Steel, and to be more specific, the executives who work in the production department. Similarly, in TCS, it is the client relations manager who has better knowledge about client relationships, not the business level manager, not the CEO. So it's very important for a company to listen to what its functional managers are saying. So corporate level managers are like generalists and functional managers are like journalists. A journalist is the one who knows 1% of 100 things, whereas a journalist is the one who knows 100% of one thing. So a company has to listen to what its functional managers are saying. And dear students, let me conclude this session. Dear students, in this class, we have understood the evolution of strategic management, what is strategy, levels of strategy, importance of different levels of strategy. That's all for this session, dear students. Hope this session is interesting to you and useful to you. We'll meet in the next session. See you. Bye. All the best. Bye.